Hello there, good afternoon, morning, evening, whatever time you watch this on YouTube, whether you do it live with me, Seth Holocron from the Tauntaun YouTube channel, or you watch it just on YouTube because that's why I use YouTube and not Twitch. Welcome to this Group B match in the XTC 2021 between Peru, who are on the left, on the red side of the board, and South Africa, who are on the right hand side of the board. We have two fantastically good players today who have very kindly let me stream this kind of crucial side of the match. So Peru currently are beating Germany in Group B 4-0 after the first four rounds. So we're now into week number 5, which is pretty cool. And here are the two players. On the left for representing Peru is Alberto Ego-Aguirre. He is flying a Sunny Cartel list, and on the right hand side is Micheal Wells representing South Africa, who is flying a ragtag bunch of parrot scum, shall we say. So Alberto's list at 199, Michal's list at 198. So the initiative has gone to Alberto, which is pretty damn good, I suggest. So Alberto has the initiative. He is the first player, and you've got to say, look at these ships. Like, look at these ships, beautifully painted within TTS, absolutely gorgeous. And then we look at the other side, and wait do you see what's coming down from Michal's ships? He's got. Oh, let's just go through the list, shall we? Let's just do that. So asteroids and rocks, all down. 3 debris, 3 quite smallish asteroids. Let us go through the actual list. So let us bring this up here. The entire list is led by this young man himself. It's Sunny Bounder. I1 and has got a lovely little auto blaster, which is pretty nice. There's also two others who are the green and the blue, who also have exactly the same thing. And then to kind of help things along, the brown and pink cartel spacers all have thread tracers. That's a 3-die missile attack that sets up target locks for every single ship that is on board. Let's bring that up. There we go. That's fantastic. And then the final one, which are the red and the yellows. Pretty decent, I think, here. Ion torpedoes. So against small base ships, that's not going to be the nicest thing in the world to deal with. So count them up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 of these things. Let's go to the other side of the screen and see what Micheal has brought for his 199 point list. So let's start with Bossk. Bossk has got a lot going on. He has Cutthroat, the very free jamming beam, Zam Vessel to make it just awful if you have to shoot the 666. He's got Gamut Key for a whole load of charges to, at the end phase, they don't get removed. He's got Greedo to turn one of his hits to a crit, and he has false transponder codes. That's pretty nasty. And then we've got Lando in the little shuttle, which is pretty good. He's at I4, and the whole rest of Michal's list is all I4, including his own Seek, which is Genesis Red. You can see that on your screen. Again, has Cutthroat, and this one has got proton torpedoes. And then at the very end, just to be absolutely horrid, he's got a Fang Fighter, also with Cutthroat. And this time, he's brought ion torpedoes on Joy Rekoff. So, lots and lots of things to do. This could be absolutely fantastic. So that are the lists. We are just waiting for them to start the clock, at which point, when they do start the clock, I will start my clock. It's all good. Everything is fantastically well. Let me click this one down so I am ready to go when they are. And dials are now being set. Alberto's are all done. Clock has gone. Let us go. So, Peru versus South Africa. Let's get this game off and running. Let's see what we get from all these wonderful Sikhs who are all sort of just bouncing around here to the right hand side. All one banks and barrel rolls. This should be an excellent game of X-Wing. I genuinely love these painted ships. The colours of their national flags all over the Sikhs and the South Africans all over their list, which is pretty good. So I'm going to probably expect a couple to kind of move away. So brown and yellow, obviously, with the target locking abilities here. I would expect a bit of cat and mouse in the first period of the game. Welcome, chat. It's good to have you here. Hope you enjoy this as much as I am when we actually get this game up and running. That looks like everybody has now moved. And then there's a full stop from Bossk, because he's horrid. A little too forward there from Joy. And all these early focus takings not really making that much of a difference. Just adds a little bit of time to the first round of movement. So looking kind of good. That's the end of the round. All the little green things disappear, which is kind of nice. So I really do like the Bossk build. Cutthroats across the board, which is pretty excellent. Obviously, apart from Lando, but Cutthroat still a really good elite pilot talent to take. So I'm sat here with my lovely cup of coffee. So again, thank you to both these players for letting me stream the start of their Group B battle in week 5. And the XTC has been fantastic so far. So and Michelle Peru, who, if you've been watching World Champion Ollie Popnell's weekly roundup, kind of late on a Sunday after all the games have been played, and I think everybody was sleeping on Peru. And if we have, I don't think people are sleeping on them anymore. They have been brilliant. Like, they have been one of the outstanding teams and nations in this year's event, and are showing that South America needs to be respected, and they are. South Africa have not done bad either. Few wins could have maybe went their way. Players both set, so time for movement stage number 2. And we shall see how we go with this. There is the systems phase. That's the ZAM card being put on the Bossk. All good, and every single one of Peru's ships will move first. So a little too forward from the yellow. Might get a wee barrel roll. Or no, just takes a focus. No need to do anything else here. So remember, it is pink and brown have got the thread tracers. Green and blue have got the auto blasters, and red and torpedoes from the 6 squad from South America. Meanwhile, Micheal Wells, representing South Africa, told me this morning that not only is he representing South Africa in this online event, he is currently living in Germany and has got a grandmother from Buncrana in Ireland, which is a beautiful spot with an amazing beach. And have we lost a player? Is that actually possible? Oh, all good. So all the maneuvers now done. Um, Early doors, players figuring out where they want their choice of engagement bit to be in the map. Little two bank there from Joy Rakoff. Could possibly do a boost if she wanted, but probably won't, to be fair. And another two bank from Genesis Red, who will also quite happily just take a focus and things will be well. So, massive difference in global terms with internet capabilities. This is being streamed live from Germany. This is where the table actually is. Um, I'm in Ireland, if you haven't guessed by the vocals, and Alberto is in Peru, so a lot of not real lag, but a lot of things all happening at once. So these guys are running their own table. Should my stream, for whatever reason, cut out, which I'm pretty sure it won't, but if it does, these guys can continue playing. I will get the stream back up again in like 1 minute. It will be super fast to get back to that table. So it's all saved. It's all ready to go. Things good. So, third form of engagement. Peru have decided to come down towards the bottom side of the board in a sort of conga line, which I quite like. Meanwhile, South Africa have decided to go to the top of the board and roughly go back into some level of formation. So, I would expect banks from brown and yellow, maybe a couple of two hearts from the blue and sunny bounder, a couple of more banks from the remaining six to kind of all get them into a thing. The asteroids are quite well spread out. It's the very classic one sort of in the middle and five around it in a circular sort of merry-go-round thing. And a lot of games have been maybe 30 or 40 minutes of just dancing around the outsides as if you've paid a euro or a peseta or a pound or a dollar or whatever your currency happens to go up and down on a hobby horse and not really do anything and just look at the world and isn't everything great in it. And then eventually, after about three quarters of an hour, they turn in and go, oh, pew, 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 and then run. So that is quite a lot of high powered X Wing players do that. So dial set by South Africa, same for Peru. Sam card in the system phase. So that is the only system phase in these lists. There are no bombs or no anything like that at all. It just sort of happens, which is all kind of good. And let's see where Peru end up. Nice gentle one bank from the bottommost six. Will we get a hard turn here? We do. So two to the left and a focus. Sunny will no doubt do exactly the same maneuver and follow information, which he certainly does. Green will probably bank. Plus indeed. It's a lovely little two bank and focus, and maybe more two banks coming from pink and red. So Alberto just checking exactly what is on Bossk, and that's a lot. Cutthroat jumping beam is vessel crew for a revenge shot. Bossk being absolutely horrible anyway. Don't forget Greedo and Gamut Key to protect those circular green tokens. And there again are the two banks in, and a three bank from the pink to maintain a sideways level flying form. So pretty good from Peru and Alberto. What has Micheal got for South Africa? Remember, that giant 666 has got a 180-degree fire arc, which, when you're facing it, is abhorrent to try and get around. But if you can get behind this, it can hardly turn around. It is incredibly clunky. And they pop kind of easy. And a ship carrying Zam vessel as a crew wants a return fire shot. So, there's been about 10 odd minutes in this game and quite cagey, non committal openings. Hello, Inferno Smith. Go, Michael. So, obviously, cheering on Micheal. And Chris Bird, as an Ulsterman, I appreciate the great flag game both these players have got going on. Couldn't agree more. These ships are fantastic looking. A lot of time has went into these. I would assume much more time has went into Michal's ones, seeing as it's 4 different ships, at least with the cartels. You do it once and then just colour your ship pilot card whatever you like. Or you can even let TTS do it. That's equally good as well. So, 3 movement phases, not a lot going on, which is completely fine. So, I would assume we're going to see quite a bit more of this. Quite cautious from Peru. No 2-3 banks from the lead out train of the yellow spacer. And these 6 are horrible. With 3 of them having the auto blasters, including Sunny Bounder, if you get a bullseye shot, the 2-die auto blaster becomes a 3. If you get it at range 1 in the bullseye, it's a 4 dice attack. That is just horrible. So, if I bring that up at the bottom of your screen. If the attacker is in your bullseye, roll 1 additional die. During the neutralize steps, if you are not in the defender's arc, evade results. Do not cancel crits. Ugh. Horrible. Anyway, let's get back to the dials. Everybody seems to be set. So let's continue this snail pace around the outside, which is completely fine. Completely fine. I just think these guys genuinely want to try and get the most proper engage for their win condition. I will assume that Peru will want to eye on something really quite hard and then blast it to death with the auto blasters. And I can assume that South Africa will want to maybe split up later on and attack from different angles. But we will have to see. So just under about 62 minutes to go here. You've got to remember, chat, that we're XTC rules. I'm actually 60 seconds ahead of you. So we shall see where we go. Systems phase here for Zam. And let's see which card he decides to pick. Oh. And there we go. That is exactly what I did not want to see, was me being removed because of the distance from this thing. So let me get right back in there super fast. So the stream will go straight back up again. Have absolutely no doubt about that. And we don't even need to be... may turn the cache back on. It'll load a lot quicker. So let us see where we're at. And this is the reason why an awful lot of streamers in the XTC allow these guys to do their own stream. They have not been hit at all by me dropping out of the table. So they have no idea that's happened, which is pretty good. Chris said Wedge could be good to them as well. Yes, that would be yuck. That would be absolutely yuck. So we will get this right back as soon as possible. See, apologies. Absolute disaster all over. Okay, we should be coming back in again just about now. So just by looking at where they're at before this loads in, the Spacers have done exactly what they needed to do. Decided to go right along to the bottom of the board, which sounds pretty excellent to me. So let us get this all back in, looking all nice and lovely. There we go. So this is a Ring of Rosies game. So it is. So I hope that hasn't disrupted it too much. So, all fixed. Now, people want to burn the M3As and make it a bonfire. Well, that will be impressive in every single way going. So I kind of hope, if you're cheering for Peru, I kind of hope that happens. If you're cheering for South Africa, you're going to not want that to happen. And this is where we are now currently at. So thank you for everybody who's joined. It's a sort of a weird time to be having an XTC game, but at the same stage, not that bad. And we will end up with an engagement at some stage, because if this was to go to final salvo, I would thoroughly expect South Africa to win. There would be an awful lot of attack dice being rolled by those M3As. So, having started at the top left, they're now at the bottom right. And we'll continue probably going up around the back. So I think we're beginning to see that this is probably how Alberto wants to run this match. Will we see any K turns or coming through the asteroid field from Micheal? We will have to wait and see. So it's only blue and yellow have moved. Here comes green with a 3 bank. So unless there's a barrel roll to the right, no. So he is definitely going right round the entire field, which makes total sense. And while they're doing all their barrel rolls and their little manoeuvres, let us go in. Yes, Kane, I dropped out of the table. That's why the screen went black for a second, but everything is back on. Yeah, Chris, there's an awful lot of guns up on the Peru side. And that little barrel roller from green, because it went to where it was and not to the front, Sunny has not gotten action. It means absolutely diddly squat in this game whatsoever, because they are miles apart. There's a jump to hyperspace required. So 5 forward from yellow, who will stay there, and red will probably just bounce around to keep up with where he needs to be, and that is quite decent formation flying from Alberto. What has Michael got in store? He decides to bank in quite hard there with Bossk. It's quite a nice little manoeuvre. And then the others all at initiative 4. He can get to decide who he wants to move first. Probably wants to move Joy, and indeed does. But again, actions at this stage of the game, 20 odd minutes gone in it, is not really important right now. A lot of debris and rocks between both scum fleets. As Michael moves the Zan card over. We one bank there from Lando. Yeah, can be very, very annoying. Like he can be extremely annoying. So, and then don't forget that Genesis Red is also in there. So, as we look to see what he can give up, And there is a barrel roll from that coordinate to get Joy looking a lot better than what she was now. Now, is it just me, or has Joy been? Certainly, sort of looks that way. But anyway, we will say nothing. You can't see Lando. Okay. Lando is just right in front of the one forward template. That is where he is. So let's see where we end up this time. Will the six actually maybe go up to and including their five forwards, which the pink did in the last turn? That's quite possible indeed. Or will he maintain this 2-3 forward little banks? I suggest that maybe all five of the ones at angles are going across, and this internet issue here is not great for me here at all. So I am going to maybe put the player names up and see how that works out. So I have pinged out yet again. So this is the issue. This is an issue. I'm on Michael's server from Germany. Back into this game as quickly as is humanly possible. It's not like they're all at range one shots doing madness things. That's not happened. So let me get back into TTS. And I had a funny feeling this might have happened. And one of the reasons why this game was a very late addition to being streamed, the differences between the two countries are continents apart. It's not like France are playing Belgium or Spain, where they're all very close. So I will join this again very quickly. I'm sure they're wondering where I'm disappearing off to, but that is sadly one of the things that is actually happening. At the meantime, Malta is on Nobby's Gundark stream, Malta and Australia. But seeing as you're here to watch this XTC game, let us get this back on again and see where they've all moved to. It's a bit like what used to happen in bookmaker shops around the world. You would not get the TV. You would just get people giving you stuff over the radio, which is pretty bonkers, really. So they have actually continued right up the side of the right-hand side of the board. And have kept a rather nice formation, so that's kind of good for Peru. And we are back in business. So let's go back to this. A few more bumps there from Green and Sunny. But the remaining six are kind of not in a very good position at all. Blue, brown, and yellow, and even Sunny will be okay when they do like two hordes or whatever to the left and come through the debris. That is something that can go on. Just under 50 minutes to go, so let us see where we're actually at. And it looks like at some stage we may actually get an engagement, which could be absolutely great. Kind of interested who painted these ships as well. So Let me grab my carafe of coffee. And see where Micheal ends up putting the remainder of his ships. Now, there's a bit of a late move here. Genesis Red is very, very far behind the rest of his ships. So a 3 bank would sort of put him at range 1 to where Lando is right now in an attempt to sort of try and get back into formation. Lando takes a focus. There is the 3 red. Will there be a barrel roll or just another focus? But at this minute in time, not an awful lot is going on realistically. So many ships, absolutely so many ships. 11 in total between the two fleets, and we are back to yet another movement phase. Kind of hard to see how these guys are going to get an engage that they actually envisaged when these rocks went down before the ships even hit the board. So Alberto, with all his I-1s, including Sunny Bounder, will always get to move first and probably be able to take their actions at any point. On the other side, they're all I-4s. So both players have got the ability to make whatever ship they want to move first, second, third, fourth, etc., all the way through to maximize where they're going to be. Does Bossk really, really want to continue down the board? Because I think that could be a bit problematic for Bossk. What Micheal does not want is this swarm of ion torpedoing, auto blastering, thread tracering Spacer 6 hitting him in his rear arc where he cannot get anything back. So looks like Michael's table has stabled, which is fantastic for you guys to watch it, and even better for me for having to talk for 75 minutes about precious little so far. But this is the best X-Wing that these 38 nations here in the XTC this year can actually bring to a virtual table to decide which nation is the best at online X-Wing. So bear with them. These guys doing the best that they possibly can to bring us and allow streamers like myself and the rest of the streaming people who are getting up at all times of the night. Nickel City, Greg from Detroit, was up at 4 o'clock this morning doing the Ireland-Philippines match, and he did it excellently. In fairness, Ireland won it in 40 minutes, but it was a hell of a game. Bombers versus Sabres, and the Bombers won in 40 minutes. You can check that out on the Nickel City YouTube and Twitch channels. So let us get back into this. All the dials have been set. Can we actually get a round without dropping from this table? So Zam card being put on to Bossk. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Somebody choose violence. You know you want to choose violence. So it's probably you should thank me. If he's going to get shot 7 times, that will 100% if Bossk gets shot that amount of times. So that's a big maneuver. And Alberto doing exactly what he's done every single movement turn so far. So I'm going to expect a 5 forward from yellow and brown. And there you go. There is that one pulled across quite nicely. Yellow will pop. Oh, decides not to. Decides to barrel roll. Trying to get away from any sort of shot from. But that's going to bump. I don't particularly like that if he knew he was doing that with the rest of his ships. Sunny does his 3. May also barrel roll out to the right, but is slightly off kilter after a bump at the bottom of the table a couple of rounds ago. Don't forget, pink and brown have got the thread tracers. So pink's right at the bottom, brown's second from the top. And I think we're having a little discussion about what they are going to take. Ends up just being focus. Green to go next, who will just do a 2 bank round. All good, will no doubt barrel roll away. Does indeed. And now we have got a conga line. If I could actually play music that wouldn't get me like kicked off YouTube, that would be the song that I'd be playing. More wonderful barrel rolls. And this one ain't going to get... Well, I mean, it can. I can certainly barrel roll to the right, and it does. So there we go. We have follow the leader going on. Love it. Think this is great. God, coffee is life. It really is. So, that is the entirety of Peru's moves. Boba decides enough is enough. I'm prepared to engage. I have got all the shield and hull you will ever need. And comes in, takes a focus. Will not be in range to do anything this turn. But looking at where Alberto has put his ships, yes, they can continue skirting around the outside of the board, which is a decent enough tactic to do. And they are very fast. So they can get up behind the back, maybe start taking shots into Joy. Or Genesis Red. Speaking of Joy, she does a fantastic little 2 hard there. Just to get into it. Takes a focus. Genesis Red follows right behind Lando Calrissian. And that is everything done at the minute. And I still believe that with a grand total of just under about 41 minutes to go, things are looking okay. So, no shots from anybody. And there we go. There is pinged the table to allow Alberto know that Joy's focus is staying where it is. Sam card will get replaced back onto the table side. Or possibly not. So as you can see, as Alberto is the red hand, and Micheal is the blue, you can actually see them on the other sides of the board, trying to see which angle is the best way for them to come in and get an engage. Now, I would expect a 3 bank from the blue and hard turns from nearly every other Sikh on the board to get as much guns Indian attack as possible. So Zam is not charged yet, as there hasn't been a shot. We have been playing for 35 minutes. No pew-pews, no dice have been taken up. The most exciting thing that has happened so far is a couple of bumps from the Peruvian spacers. So not really that much to have commentation on, if you want the truth. It has not been a fire violence fest. Very skittish around the outside. But this is week 5 of the XTC. I don't know the win rates for the 2 players. I didn't get the chance to do it. It was quite a late thing that happened this morning. So let us see where we are. No real dials have been set. So this is going to be the round where there's going to be engagement. You know when it's got to this stage that people need to know that their ships have to be where the dials want them to be. And these players know exactly where their ships should be, barring bumps. I can't see any maneuver from any of Peru's seeks to stop anybody getting anything. Don't forget that Bossk has got a full stop. He can actually just sit there and take stuff from coordinates from other ships from his fleet. And it's so good to see a scum on scum thing where the lists could not be that much different. You know, it's a cartel Sikh swarm against a ragtag array of good pilots with good abilities. So let's see what happens here. Thank you, chat, for staying in there. As you can see, it takes very little time indeed for this to continue going on. So, Mr. Christoflanga, I like Joyce and Bosk's position, but not Jen Red's. Yeah, Jen Red has been sort of just following along, going, well, where are you going? And I'll just kind of aim the front of my ship and I'll decide what I want to do later. Joy's in a fantastic position. So is Bossk. Bossk has got an entire dial's worth of operations to him now. What Alberto has to do is decide, shall I keep going around the outside and maybe take shots at Genesis Red, get a few points and keep running, or not? Renato Flores, go Joe Peru. I think that may be a bit of a big shout out to South America. So, can we get shots? That's what we're saying in Ireland. This is not only a game of really good flying from these two pilots, but at the same stage, shooting wins matches. I want to see greens fail. I want to see natty rolls. But I actually want to see rolls, period. So let's see how these guys get on. I assume that people who are watching this are either part of or know the people on the table, which is kind of good. Let me actually move that over a few touch, that's better. And we will see what is happening. See, up here, that is Genesis Red. And you know, if it's not in the best position, it just isn't. These guys are all good, including Blue. Blue can sweep round here. These guys can all hard turn, do barrel rolls, or just take focuses. There's a lot can happen, which is why they're still, like, Pink has still not even been done yet. Michael has been done. My other computer tells me that it is, and it looks like we are good to go. So, fingers crossed for some shots. Peru to move all 7 M3As first. So there's going to be a change on one of their dials. I even like the way that Micheal has got his dials covered in the flag of South Africa. Very, very nice. Probably that's my favourite painted thing that I've seen. I genuinely know how much time and effort it takes to put custom skins on to ships within Tabletop Simulator. They are beautiful, absolutely beautiful ships. So kudos to the South Africans, who have also made a flag. Now, I have also made a flag for all the groups in Group C that Ireland is in, just to kind of make it, you know exactly, if you know your flags, contentious in Northern Ireland, but there we go. You know which they are. Unfortunately, I've only got their team logos at the top. Alberto's just behind the initiative banner, and South Africa's right beside Michael's name. So those are the logos. Both of them very, very nice, I have to say. So, Snake Eyes, if that was you, kudos. And as the Tour de France is on, chapeau, we shall say it in French as well. Wonder job. Absolutely wonder job. So, the bank in from Blue, and the focus as called. Will we get hard turns and barrel rolls from the remaining ships of Alberto? Too hard from the yellow. And it's a little bit of lag, which has sorted itself out. takes a focus. Sunny Bounder comes in. As you see, the brown one has been left. He wants focuses with as many of these as he can get. Kind of interested where brown. Now, brown is the one with the thread tracers. It makes it. Also gets a focus. So there's a 2 bank from the pink who also has got thread tracers. And the red one will have to do a lovely little turn move there. So bringing all guns to the battle. Wonderful. Fantastic. And Bossk decides, let's go. Let's absolutely go. So we'll take a focus. Now, there could be a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5 shots. I don't believe blue has got Bossk in arc. I don't think pink has got it in the arc, but I think everybody else probably could. But it will all depend on where Joy goes. And Joy, again, absolutely no fear whatsoever, to the point that there is a boost coming in, a double focus for the stress. Now, that is how you fly a flying fighter. That is exactly where they want to be. But don't forget, these ships have only got 4 hull, and we are going to get a ton of shots. 2 damage into Joy will give up quite a considerable amount of points. It will be 26 just to get 2 in there. And bear in mind, she's going to take a range 1 4-die auto blaster shot, but in arc, so evades will be okay. But then in saying that, there's ion torpedoes coming in. So there is the coordinate from Lando. He is such a pain in this. Huge respect for commentating for 40 minutes flying without shooting alone. Thank you very much indeed. I'm Irish. Apparently I kissed what is called the Blarney Stone in the south of Ireland, which gives you what is called in Ireland the gift of the gab, to be able to talk pure shit for 40 minutes with nothing happening at all. However, watch it go horrendously wrong now as 11 ships and me trying to do an overlay at the same time. We'll see how this works out. So keep me up to date, and I will do my best to keep this as accurate as possible on the overlays. So, all of South Africa get to shoot first. Joy has decided to take the bait, and it is a range 1 shot into Sunny Bounder. So, Sunny being an incredible annoyance himself. It is 4 into 3. Dice up in the air for the first time. Kapow, 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 boom. 3 hits, 1 crit. Only has 2 there that can get away from. Will have to spend that focus or will be in a massive bit of issue. So that is 1 shield and a crit. So the first one goes in, and Sunny Bounder's thing is a damaged engine. Let's get that up. So that is the first shot. The second shot now coming from Joy. 4 dive, 1 hit. Spends that target lock for another hit. Will the focus be spent? Of course it will. That is 4 more hits. And I believe very, very sadly for Peru that Sunny has been absolutely obliterated and initiative killed in the first turn. What a barrage. Dead altogether. Here comes Bossk. Can he take out other ships? So at the minute, he's probably going to be looking at... everybody else still has a focus on the Peruvian side. Probably wants to be taking out red and yellow, those are the ones with the auto blasters, but they are both at range 3. And decides instead to go for the one with ion torpedoes. So this is going to be a Bossk shot into green. 3 dice for Micheal, 3 dice for Alberto. And the dice have been quite hard, and this is what happens. Dice variance is a thing. Bossk gets absolutely nothing with that complete blank out. So nothing there to do. And then Sunny Bounder, thank you for coming along to make us the Secret 7. Now we're just down to the Seek 6. Problem is, these ships now all get to fire. The best news for Micheal is he's got 30 points by killing Sunny, and does not take a 4-die auto blaster to the face. So that is why Sunny got picked on first. So first off, Pink trying to get Thread Tracer shot, so spends a charge, 3 dice into the Fang, gets a hit, spends the focus, hit crit, so we'll need some paint. Don't forget that Joy also has got 2 focus tokens. We'll need to spend 1. Does indeed. No target locks for everybody there. Remember that everybody firing here will be getting a target lock should the brown or the pink. This is the second lot of... that's good. That's 2 hits in the crit after that focus has been spent. So eyes or natty evades required for South Africa. A blank here is not good. That is not good. So, no damage done, but every single one of the 6 now gets a target lock. And you do them sort of in order, which is pretty good. Every single one of those 6 ships has now got a target lock. Don't forget that there are ion torpedoes about to be fired, and they require a target lock. So look at all those beautiful things right beside Joy's ship. Managed to get away from the first one. Second one, not so lucky with. And here comes an ion torpedo shot. That is at range 2. 4 dice. With a target lock. Immediately gets hit, crit. Re-rolls with the target lock. That is definitely 1 damage. Depends on what Joy rolls back. So that is 1 damage and 1 ion. Into Joy. So here we go. That is the damage. Let us update that on the overlay. So from 4 to 3, just like that. And now you're seeing why thread tracers are such a damn good thing to do. Now this is the shot from yellow. Yellow also has an ion, but at range 1 here, we'll probably just roll a 3-die primary attack. Maybe try and kill everybody off. Again, that will lose all the target locks if Joy explodes. Is contemplating shooting at Genesis Red, but a range 1 shot's very hard to give up with a target lock, surely. So 30 to 0 in favour of South Africa does indeed take the primary shot into Joy. But a trail mix, re-rolls the blank, spends the focus. That is 3 hits. 3 hits from 3 dice back. That's not good at all. That's really not good. So the only good thing about Fang Fighters is Concordia Face-Off, which has turned one of those blanks, because you can turn any die at all if you're at range 1 of that ship. So it is now half points onto Joy. And there's 26. It's a 4-point game. There are still shots to go. Is this green? This is green. So auto blaster shot. because of the range. Spends the target lock. Why would you not after your guy did everything he needed? Rolls the blank, Indian Eye, gets that. No crits, but 3 dice back for Micheal, who throws him up into the air and takes one more again because of Concordia. So blue, downtown shot into Genesis Red, 2 die attack, head crit natties. This should be an extra die surely, and it is indeed. So hit crit. And the crit will take the shield off Lando. 1 gets through. Except that's not Lando, that's Genesis Red. So that goes to there. Zam card gets redone. Nobody shot at Bossk. Zam has got her shot back. Alberto goes, pourquoi? Well, he would if he was French. He's Peruvian, so okay, possibly. Anyway, I'm now probably mocking people when I don't mean to be at all. So wondered how that happened. That is how that did happen. Joy on 1 hole left, and the Sikhs now being able to move first can probably block most moves from the Fang Fire. Remembering that because of that boost after her move to get right in there, very lucky to be alive, actually. Taking off Sunny Bounder in the opening engagement, hugely critical. So let us jump into chat. Yes, he did have the lock for the Torp. Yes, he did. So in an interesting position for both players. Blue can now sweep around that side. Brown is in a pretty horrible position. Yellow's in a decent enough position to be starting to go for Bossk. All that sort of stuff can happen. But the problem is actually Joy. Joy will stop like 1 hards to the left. Let me actually bring up the Sikh style on the screen for you. So the 1 hard is a white maneuver on this. So is the 2 hard. They are both white maneuvers. There's only 4 blue. So as you can see, they have a 3k and a 5k. Not really what you really want to do with these. You want, especially when you've got auto blasters and stuff like that, you want to be able to do stuff. Nobody is stressed on the Peruvian side of the board, but the 1 bank there from yellow will probably bump. I mean, they could easily go across and see what happens trying to get into Genesis Red and just use green, pink, and red as blocks and attempts to take Joy off the board. Remember, taking Joy off the board, it's only 1 hole. And yes, she has got Concordia, but as you saw before, a whole load of shots into a Fang Fighter, and they do go pop real easily. So the amount of shots that he can get here would be huge. Blue, again, just slightly too behind that rock there to maybe get that 2 in, but the 2 hard is on, possibly on. The top 3 aren't in the best positions, the bottom 3 are. So let's see where we're at. For Micheal, he's now got tons of options. Most notably, full stopping completely with Bossk. Getting a focus from Lando, probably. Lando's not the best ship in the world, but his ability is phenomenal. Genesis Red can just gently come across here and take something out. Remembering that Genesis Red, Joy, and Bossk all have cut-through ability. Let's not forget about that at all. And, there are proton torpedoes on Genesis Red. So needs the target lock. Now, whether that is because of the action that that ship will take, or it's coordinated to her, let's see where we go. So, movement phase after the system phase, and the ZAM card, a 5 forward from the yellow. That is the one with ion torpedoes, who has not fired any yet. Decides, was thinking about that lock, but has decided, no, I think jamming Bossk will be a hell of a lot better. The 2 hard to the right from blue, perfect. Will we see a 1 hard from brown? That's the question that I want. So there's the possible block from green. Where is brown going to go to set up even more target locks? This could be probably the most important move that Alberto needs to make. It will fit, absolutely will fit. Thinking of an action here for the green Seek. The green Seek, remember, has got the auto blasters. Pink does a little 1 bank in. Takes a focus. The 1 hard from brown. Please take a focus. Does indeed. I am adoring these moves. And red, who has got the ion torpedoes, has bumped into his teammate. But this is going to be almost... Now, Joy can get away here, right? But can't, because she's ioned. She had absolutely no dial to even put down. So blue and brown. Brown will not be firing thread tracers at range 1. They will be all primary attacks. Because of the bump, there's no focus even for Joy, and she's in a pretty bad position, but she has got a fantastic range 1 shot onto red. Remember, red is one of the ones with the ion torpedoes. Genesis Red comes straight in here. And again, you'll be looking to take off ships that have got the auto blasters. So blue, right in front there at range 1, has got the auto blasters. Green is the other. And I'm not so sure I like that choice. I think I'd have much rather... But then is that... let me have a look over here. So proton torpedoes are range 2 to 3. So that is why it is obstructed, but not so bad. Lando just flitting along, all cool as you like, about to give a coordinate to Bossk, I would assume, for a focus, because if Bossk has stopped dead, it's a reinforce to the front. Very good choice. And the handbrake goes on real hard. So, look at all these tokens. So many tokens. So, as per the last round, Micheal gets to fire first. And with Joy only on 1 dice, 1 hole, sorry, has bumped into pink, so has got a range 1 shot into green. Not as terrifying, oh my lord. 4 eyeballs. No focus token. Now that's heartbreaking. Here comes a shot from Bossk again into green. Remember, green has the auto blasters, so this is 4 into 3 for Micheal's favor. There's at least 2. There is an eyeball. The other one is also an eyeball. Will he spend any? So spends Greedo to change a hit into a crit. And if he spends that focus, there is no damage taken. Decisions. I don't think that's a decision. You spend that little green token and you do not get additionally hurt, which sounds damn good to me. Here comes one of the torpedoes. the second proton torpedo. So they are all gone from Joy. They are all absolutely done. Let me get rid of those. Spends the target lock. Will spend the focus there. So with all the ridiculousness of the proton torpedoes, ends up with a hit and 2 crits. And that is not great after spending it. So the hit gets taken off. It is a shield and a hull breach into green. And Lando has no shot. Then again, I don't believe yellow has got a shot, but we shall soon see. If you flip your dial, sir, it'll come up. And it does, and there is no shot from yellow. So, target priority, huge. It has to be Joy at range 1. So 3-die primary attack, has got that focus, will spend that focus, because why would you not, to make you require natties. That's it. That's it all done. Joy Rykoff is out of here. Absolutely explodes into space dust and dies. A 52-point thing straight away. And for the first time in the game, Peru take the lead 52-44 with more incoming shots. So Cutthroat now triggers. So let us bring you up what Cutthroat actually is. So once a ship at range 0 to 3 is destroyed, if it's limited or has the upgrade, you can remove one of your orange or red tokens, or recover one non-recurring charge on your ship card, or one of your equipped upgrade cards. So this is brilliant for all the charges on the side of South Africa, because now you can start flipping charges to regain things, which is pretty decent. Here comes not yellow. What color is this one? Is this pink? I think this must be pink. Is he going for the thread tracers? Has to be, if he's rolling the 3. Rolls it. That was an I. Spends the focus, so 2 hits and 2 evades. So this time, not quite as good as what he thought. Brown now will probably not really want to shoot into a fully zammed up Dengar. Probably leave that until the end. Does get an engage. It would be at range 2. So a shot in here. The final thread tracer. So all the thread tracers are now gone from Peru. They have all disappeared. Let's get rid of those. ZAM card is triggered. The ZAM card is, you should mean business. So target lock on to the ship that shot him, which is Brown. So there's all of these target locks on the Bossk. So that went through. So next round of shots for every Sikh. It will be double modded should he manage to get something kind of cool. So they're all within range 3. So there should be the 6 locks. And Dengar gets his target lock from ZAM. ZAM could return fire. But, let's see. And then Green, who is on half health, which has put the South African score up to 44 points, has a range 1 shot into Bossk. So 3 versus 1. Or will he try and shoot at Lando? It's the only other ship in his arc. But I think maybe, there's a reinforce in the front. So let's see what he rolls. It's a hit crit. Spends that target lock for the eye. And evades 1. Does not evade 1. Takes 1. So 1 shield because of the reinforce. And damage on the shields on the Bossk. And we're still not done. We're still not done. Range 2 shot here. The red fires his last ion torpedo. That is 4 natty hits. So that is one of those are done. Hang on, that's so takes a damage from that. So 1 shield remaining. And as a big base ship, should have taken you need to get 3 to ion the big monster base that is. But that's a start. Let me take all those ions off red. Because they're gone. I am trying desperately to make sure that this is all correct. I really am. False transponder code should also be gone off Bossk. So we will get rid of those. And Joy exploded. So, oof. Not long left, though, to be honest. 52 to 44. Peru lead by 8. This, with it being the sort of pace of game that it has been, is still anyone's game at all. Really, really anyone's game. And the fact that Peru have got considerably more ships, in fact, it is now 2 to 1 from it being 7-6 at the start. It is now 2 seeks for every one of those ships. If you can block Bossk here, I genuinely think that an awful lot of firing shots in the Bossk, even if he loses one, I think Peru have slightly got a better chance here. Lando needs to have fired and do something, so I assume Bossk will move first. Lando will go in to actually get some guns on the target, and Genesis Red could do. I mean, like, the problem is that those proton torpedoes need a target lock, which Gen Red does not have right now. So green would be the one that they would really like to have taken off the board. The other blank 4-die shot from Bossk did not help South African hopes. So this, I mean, like, there's just coming up to 5 minutes to go. This will be, because of the amount of ships, the final round. 8 points up Peru over South Africa in this Group B game. Will we see an act of genius from one of these players? And I think statistically, Peru have got a better chance to get blocks in and deny South Africa. But however, this is X-Wing, people. So I'm going to try and predict what we're going to get. Yellow Seek should do a 3K. And just do that. Just do that. And everything else should either bump, bash, move. Green probably will bank into the right, possibly. And the other guys will just bank in to try and get as many shots as possible into Bossk. Bossk has lost 2 shields out of his 12 total, so 4 damage left to half him. No damage on the Lando. And on the other side of the board, all he seeks are ground apart from the hold reached green. So let us see where we actually end up. Micheal has got all his dials down. With coming up right now at 4 minutes. Let's see where we go, because the movement phase is going to take a while. To be fair, it is going to take a while. But this is it. I mean, it all comes down to this. Green to try and keep himself safe. Does the bank. Doesn't care about a token. Just hopes nobody gets fires on him. There is a fantastic K-turn from the red. Again, no token because of the stress. Does not care about that one shot. These are the critical ones. These need to be moved in the right order for some sort of token shenanigans. So there's the bank 1 and a focus. So there's 1 has got it. Probably depending on where they're going. And you see, this is the wonderful thing about being able to look at your dials without touching them over. I'd probably do yellow next, to be completely fair. So that focus is on the pink one. The pink one has got nothing apart from its main gun. Brown moves in and will also focus. Yellow does a 2 hard to the left and will also probably focus, as that has an auto blaster shot, so not in Bossk's arc if Bossk can't get out of here. Blue does a 2 forward, bumps, no action. That is it. Peru have set up their kill box, their block box. They have done everything that they can do. And that is unfortunate for Gen Red. That means no shots here at all. Takes a target lock, but is actually bumped into that ship. So, with the time coming under 120 seconds to go, Bossk does a blue maneuver. Keeps his eye on. Gets absolutely nothing. Lando, who has not fired a shot this entire game, and is there to do what you're seeing on the screen right now, which is to, again, reinforce everything that he can. So this is what we've got. Bossk has now got a focus and a reinforce in the front. And Bossk gets to shoot first. Is going into red. Okay, so a range 1 shot out the front into the brown one. Sorry, it's into brown. Gets a crit and 2 eyes. Will re-roll with the target lock into a hit. Spend his focus. Spend Greedo. And it's 2 hits and 2 crits. That could be enough for an explosion. So one of these will get transferred over with Bossk's ability. So you can change a crit into 2 hits. And there is the so that's a disabled power regulator and half points onto red. So a hit and 1 crit go through because of all the shenanigans. So red loses a shield and a disabled power regulator. So, South Africa up by 7. He's done everything he can do here. This to win the game for Peru. Bends the target lock after getting 1 hit. 2 dice from One dice. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Gets a eyeball. Final shield on to Bossk and one into Hull. Two more for the win. But here is where Micheal can possibly take a bigger lead. The Zam card is you'd better mean business. That's a revenge shot. Because you've got it. It's not a may. You have to turn that over. 3 die. And that, if he has the focus, which he does, is hit, crit, crit into 1 dice here from Bossk, who rolls his natty evade. Hit, crit goes in. That is in the back. So it is a hull breach into a damaged sensor array himself. Because the hit is obviously blocked. Hull breach in the damaged sensor array. And that could well be the game. Because it was 59 to 52. And with that shot and those 2 crits going through, Peru are now leading 89-59. It's a 30-point game. Can the remaining 6 take Bossk off the board? So, blue with an auto blaster, range 1. Now is in the arc. Only rolls 2 dice. Has the bump. And natty disrespect from South Africa. Green, however, has got a downtown range 2 shot into Lando. Because of the bump, it is just the 1. Lando rolls 2 defense dice. Takes 1 on his shield. And the final shot, I believe, is another hit with the focus is 2. This is probably... So that's only 1 more. That is half points on Lando. The perfect person to put that into. And that, ladies and gentlemen, with the last shot coming from this Sikh, 2 die gets 1 hit. 3 die to try and see what happens. That is abated. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this game. So much time. 40 minutes of this game was just very slowly going around the outside of the asteroid field. When they met in the middle, look at the center of your screen. This is a flustercock of ships doing a whole ton of damage to each other. Halving Bossk made it okay. It was slightly better looking by the time that the 2 shields went off Lando Calrissian. Congratulations, Alberto and Peru. You have won this game. Commiserations, Micheal and South Africa. It was a fantastic game indeed. So well played to both of you. Chat, I sincerely hope you watched this at this very sort of weird sort of time. But I enjoyed watching it. If you're doing a lot of XTC watching, please subscribe, or if you're watching on YouTube, subscribe to the YouTube channel. It makes a big difference. You'll get all the XTC games from the streamers who are doing it. And if you're watching any of the games on Twitch, just hit the follow button. That will equally get everything sent to your email box. My name is Sis Holocron from the Tauntaun Squadron from Ireland. Hope you enjoyed this game. Good luck to both teams in the next one. Till then, take it easy. Keep enjoying the XTC. Bye-bye now.